for the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Good afternoon. Disney today welcomes Quasimodo to his family of familiar characters, Quasi as they call him, and New Orleans will give him a very New Orleans welcome.
It's going to be interesting to see how Disney ends up making Quasimodo soft and cuddly and something that the kids want to wear on the front of their pajamas and that kind of thing. But we're going to know a lot more about this feature today.
Yeah, one of the major challenges, you know, anybody who's ever seen any of the other three Hunchback movies, this is not a Disney-like character. We'll talk, without giving away the story, we'll talk a little bit more about that over the next couple of hours as we bring you the coverage. But certainly a challenge is the way they refer to it, and one that the Disney animators and the Disney producers think they've met.
And guys, if y'all are watching today, we want to let you know a little bit about what you're going to see on this broadcast this afternoon. Instead of your cartoons, we're going to have even better stuff for you. The Disney Parade. If you've ever been to Disney World, you know they have a lot of different types of parades that you can see while you're standing there in the Magic Kingdom or Epcot or MGM or any of the parks. They actually brought in 14 floats, their very best floats, from all their different parks. So you might see things that look a little familiar to you if you've been to Disney World and watched any of the parades. But it's going to pass by right here. We are right across from Jackson Square in the French Quarter, and we'll be bringing you all the excitement of the parades and the bands and all that as it comes by.
Some special throws and special for New Orleans, or special for Disney in New Orleans. And as I mentioned, a real New Orleans welcome. Would you know it? It rained, and we are now about a half an hour ago, although it looks as though we may get a break for the parade.
Yeah, it might.
We have, unfortunately, the sauna effect right now.
It's steamy right now, good and steamy.
John Huffman's down in the street. Let's go down to him and see what the excitement is among the crowd.
Well, we're at North Peters and Conti. This is the parade will be coming that direction down from Jackson Square, about another hour or so. Now, the crowd is just beginning to build. If you look down along here, but I'll tell you what, an hour ago, there was nobody here. It's not like a Mardi Gras parade where you have people staking out positions hours in advance, and I think the weather may have had a lot to do with that, because it looked threatening and then it did rain. We talked to a number of people who said they made a day of it. They came down and had lunch in some restaurants around here. Then they had a couple of drinks, and then they had a couple more drinks, and kind of stretched it out until the rain passed through and suddenly came out to claim their space along the barriers here, Decatur and North Peters Street here. If you've ever been to Disney World or Disneyland, I know you've noticed how clean the streets are kept. It's something that Disney is famous for, and some of that seems to have rubbed off here on New Orleans today because the streets, I've never seen French Quarter streets as clean as they are for this parade. As a matter of fact, Disney crews came along earlier today and sprayed deodorizer down into the storm drains. So the French Quarter actually smells very good, too. It smells kind of like baby powder. The essence keeps bubbling up out of the drains now and again, and that's something that we're not quite used to here in New Orleans, the French Quarter in the summertime, smelling fresh and clean the way it is. It looks like the weather has passed and the crowds are continuing to build. We're looking forward to the parade coming down this way in about an hour or so. John, Margaret?
Yeah, you could get used to these clean streets, I suppose.
It ought to be like this every day, and it's really nice to see it, but the Disney people don't leave much to chance, even the smell coming out of the storm drain.
No, this is a very choreographed event, and this is, this is probably the premier entertainment company in the world really staging this event. So organization is the word.
Well, now the parade is only one part of it today. Tonight, they're going to have the premiere of the movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which this is all about, of course, down at the Superdome. And that's where Rob Masson and Kim Holden are standing by live now to tell us what's going on down at the Dome. Kim and Rob?
Well, John and Margaret, anybody who comes downtown today can tell you this is no regular production. Rob, you can tell us from being inside the Dome, regular is not even in Disney's vocabulary.
Not at all. Everything they've been trying to do is to try and make this extra special. They don't want this to be the run-of-the-mill mega event. They have transformed just about every inch of the Superdome into what some are calling the Magic Kingdom Crescent City. They brought in a lot of their own people to do that work. They've also hired a lot of local people as well, creating a huge economic impact.
And Rob, anytime Disney comes to town, we're talking big bucks. Exactly how much that means, nobody really wants to pin that down. City officials won't even guess on the real numbers in terms of economic impact, only to say that it's going to be big, both today and down the road. I think the bottom line here is that people are in town, whether they're locals or whether they're tourists, and they are spending money. Of course, Rob and I will have more on all this in just a little bit. John, Margaret?
All right, thanks, Kim. The parade route is a little different by New Orleans standards. It's only a couple miles long, although that's actually 4 times longer than the average Disney parade. If So these Disney World and Disneyland floats that they've brought in will get a workout, I guess, by Disney standards. They'll head out here from Jackson Square. This is the story about a cathedral, Notre Dame, and very appropriate that they start in front of a minor basilica, the St. Louis Cathedral, head down Decatur. They'll take a little jog on Poydras Street, and from there head into the convention center. All in all, really, I think it's a little under a couple miles, but a straight shot, more or less.
Yeah, so it's short for us, but it's long for a Disney parade, and the floats that you'll see in the parade are a little bit smaller than what you'd see in a New Orleans Mardi Gras parade, but as I said before, a lot of these floats, all of these floats come from the theme parks, and if you've seen parades in any of the theme parks, you'll see them. 14 floats have been brought in from Disney World and Disneyland. They tell us the best of the floats. One of my favorites is the Toy Story float, and they have the plastic soldiers, the Green Army Man. That's what they called it in the movie. So you'll get to see the Green Army Man right here on Decatur Street.
My 4-year-old has no interest in the Green Army Man. Loves everybody else.
Yeah.
I can tell you that the way the crowd is picking up, that it is probably true that there are a whole lot of people converging on this one spot in the city or the parade route. And for a little bit more about how things are looking, let's go to Dave Barry from Metroscan Traffic. Dave?
Hey, good afternoon. We're looking pretty good, at least on the interstate and expressway system. A little heavy coming in from the west through Metairie and Kenner with bunching before the parish line. Coming in from the east, the Slidell area looks good, and no problems on the Crescent City connection, although it is starting to get a little tight around the Superdome and the general areas, and it's going to get a lot heavier as the afternoon progresses. The Superdome will be open for Disney parking at 4:30. They're expecting some 65,000 people, and if you are parked at the Dome when the premier parking begins, they will have your car towed away. And back to you, John and Margaret.
All right, Dave, obviously the parade's not the only traffic challenge this afternoon facing us. For a while there, it looked, and I don't know if we're out of the woods yet, but it looked like weather might be the biggest challenge. Let's go to Ken Oakland in the studio, find out how things look. Ken?
Boy, that sunshine sure looks inviting, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to last. We have some rain building just to the west of the city, and it's all moving toward the east. So we're in a break right now, but again, it doesn't look like it's going to last. This is all moving towards us, and it'll be here during the next hour. And there's even more rainfall occurring out to the west of here. We can show you that on Doppler radar from Slidell. Here's that one area of rain that came through here about a half hour ago. We're in a little break between this area of rain and this one that's going to be marching in. So this is our break right now, even some peaks of sunshine, but don't let that fool you. There's more out to the west. Looking out of Lake Charles, there's more developing farther out to the west, and it's all streaming in our direction. This is almost like a little training effect, but don't let that scare you. This is not a flood situation as it appears now, but all of this rain keeps moving in our direction. So we're going to be in for several periods of rain for the rest of this afternoon. If you're getting ready to leave the house to head downtown, make sure you take along the umbrella. That is going to be a needed gear for the rest of today, unfortunately.
So Ken, you think that we will get some more rain before the parade gets underway even?
It looks like it. Some of the stuff that's just west of us over toward LaPlace is pretty heavy, and it is marching our way, and again, should be here in the next 45 minutes to about an hour.
Well, that's too bad, because that would be right about the time that the actual parade starts. The ceremony started at 4 here at Jackson Square, and then the parade's supposed to start at 4:10. So I don't like the timing.
Yeah, we have lots of stuff coming up for you, though. The mayor is going to be here to talk about how big a deal this is for the city of New Orleans to have a big event like the Hunchback premiere right here in his city, and he'll talk to us about that. We're also going to take a look at the economic impact, how much this means in dollars and cents terms, all these people coming in and spending money to come see this today. So we're going to have that story, too, coming up.
The story is based on the festival, the old Festival of Fools in medieval times in Paris. Disney calls the parade the Festival of Fun, and we'll have more of our coverage of it in just a moment.
Wine and cut the cheese.
Mud presents 3 spa treatment masks: Sea, Aloe, and Original. Mud lifts out oils and removes old skin so your skin can breathe. Pamper yourself with Mud.
Up to 90% of women get PMS. Creams and PMS relieves irritability, bloating, headaches, cramps. Get relief for the period before your period. Creams and PMS.
So how are your dentures? Are they still hurting?
No, Benzodent stopped the pain.
Benzodent stays on sore spots, relieves pain for hours. Dentist recommended Benzodent.
No matter how you look at it, from way up here to way down here,
and everything between outside in and inside out. You can depend on us. U.S. Rentals for every do-it-yourself project. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, paint sprayers, leaf blowers, generators, post hole diggers, paving breakers, pressure washers, power miters, trenchers, power pruners, and brush chippers. We've got them. We rent, sell, and finance 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. U.S. Rentals, 112 West Airline Highway, next to Security Van Lines. Call 467-15...
Can a woman get a fair deal on a new car? Men still get better deals than women much of the time. On the same car, Heidi's price was $25,500. Joseph's price was $24,300. Heidi paid $1,200 more.
That won't happen at Tony LaUse's. There's only one price for both men and women. For the best buys, buy at Tony LaUse's.
Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle, 5 minutes from the causeway on the North Shore.
These are the items that one Schwegman store's price check found cheaper than its closest Winn-Dixie. So we know, and you will know, Schwegman is cheaper. With cheap prices like Chiquita bananas, 28 cents a pound. Fresh grade A whole fryers, 58 a pound. Farmland hot dogs, 2 packs for $1. Boneless beef sirloin steak, $2.48 a pound. And assorted banquet dinners, 88 cents.
Schwegman now. We're making low prices fun again.
Across the Plymouth Dodge Jeep and Eagle, Picayune, Mississippi, we've got a sale on the 1996 Jeep Cherokee. All the extra equipment that you like, including cold air. Look at this low price, $13,688. Friends, that's after the rebate, only at Dove Harry Chrysler, Picayune, Mississippi. We're not that far from where you live.
This is it, Papa. My birthday's in 2 weeks.
Call the hotline 1-800-796-5337, Dove Harry Chrysler, Picayune.
Well, you see the scene out on the street here at the Disney Extravaganza in the French Quarter, and I'll tell you that there are grandstands next to where we are, and the Disney folks are rehearsing the people in the grandstands doing the wave, getting them to do it just exactly on cue, make sure that goes just as it's supposed to.
A television production.
Yeah, you have to do it right if you're going to do it for Disney. Well, nobody's guessing how much money the Disney premiere will mean for New Orleans.
But the thought certainly is that it'll be a big impact, maybe more long-term really than short. And for more on that, we go to Fox 8's Kim Holden. Kim?
Well, John, anytime you have a one-day event like this that's never been staged before in New Orleans, it's hard to estimate how many people it will bring to town. In this case, it is mostly locals. But even so, it translates into a lot of money spent today and even more down the road. Anytime a big name like Disney comes to town, you can bet it means big bucks. And everywhere you look downtown, there are signs that people are spending.
We see extra people, a lot of locals and extra tourists coming in.
And that means usually more money for you?
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
People who work in and around Jackson Square are bracing their minds and their cash registers for Mickey and Hunchback Mania.
We're hoping to sell more. We hope today is our big day, and we intend to continue selling it through the summer.
We've made accommodations for that. We've hired, we brought in a few extra waiters today, and we're excited about it.
There's no concrete number on how many visitors the Disney premiere has brought to town. Tourism officials guesstimate about 5,000. Donna Beatty of Baton Rouge is making it a two-day event.
New Orleans. New Orleans, it's been a long time since I came.
And you're spending money while you're here?
Sorta.
At the Hyatt Hotel, where half the rooms belong to Disney, the impact is even more evident.
They have been planning parties within our hotel as well and off-site. So they're coming in the city, they're spending the money. The people in New Orleans are excited to be a part of it. So it's been a very good plus for the city.
Disney won't say how much money it's spent so far. The speculation is it's in the millions. But city officials say the PR the city's getting cannot be translated in terms of money.
That dollar amount is difficult to specifically characterize, but like any number of special events, you have people who come to town with some expense accounts. And they're going to eat in our restaurants, they're going to shop here, they're going to spend money here, and hopefully that broad, diverse group will want to visit again for business or for pleasure.
Whatever the reason, the parade and premiere will bring thousands more people downtown on what would have normally been a slow weekday afternoon, as Disney continues to do its magic on the city's economy. And the city says it should know exactly what that magic means for the immediate economy in just a couple of days. John, Margaret, back to you.
All right, Kim. Dr. Norman McSwain heads up the team of people who are here, the medical team, in case we have some health-related problems. And we certainly, on a June day, might expect to see more heat than we've had. You have the rain, but now we have the sauna effect. I'm curious, is there a particular health concern, or has that evaporated now?
Well, it certainly got better since we had a little bit of rain and it's cloudy. I don't think we're going to have the heat problems that we anticipated, and maybe it'll be a real good day for everybody.
But it's uncomfortable with this steamy feel. You know that feeling that you get after it rains and it's still really hot? Well, it's just kind of a steamy sort of feeling. Is that not as dangerous a hazard as having the dry heat where it's just brutal and beating down on you?
Well, actually, it's a lot more problem because
you
don't evaporate as much water from your skin, and therefore you don't have your own body mechanisms to lower your skin temperature and your body temperature. So therefore, it's more of a problem.
So you're going to have people who sort of take it for granted, if you will. Oh, well, it rained and now it's not as hot, and I don't need to worry about water or liquids or anything.
Don't need to get a lot of water in because it's wet around me, and that's obviously the wrong answer.
Well, tell our guides at home how you set up for something like this. I mean, you're going to have a lot of people out on the street. How do you, as a physician, as a doctor, get prepared to handle a lot of people getting sick all at one time? What do you do?
Well, we sort of have medical units at both ends. We have a medical unit here. We've got one down at the convention center. And then we work very closely with the health department EMS system, who has 4 units out here and 2 sprint units out here.
I noticed you have little tents set up with cots underneath them for people to lie down and get out of the heat if they need to.
Right, and we've got water over there to water people and even treat cardiac arrest if we have to, but we hope we don't have to.
All right. Dr. McSwain, thanks for coming down. You were with us at Jazz Fest as well, so this is a old hat to you, huh?
I enjoy event medicine. I've been doing it for about 20 years. It's fun.
Event medicine. That's an interesting specialty.
Event medicine. All right.
All right. Thank you for being here.
All right. Great.
Well, some people who hope not to need any event medicine are down on Decatur Street, and Fox 8's John Huffman is with them.
They don't need any yet. They're having a good time, it seems. If you look over across the street here, you can see, oh, look at that special umbrella, a little Mickey umbrella. We got a sign over here welcoming Disney to the Big Easy. Flip your sign over. Let's see the other side. We love the Hunchback. Of course, so the crowd's getting psyched slowly but surely. People literally from all over the world, from around the country are here. But of course, there are plenty of people from New Orleans as well. As a matter of fact, you're from the French Quarter, right?
Well, partially. Sometimes I'm from Berwick, Louisiana, and sometimes I live in the French Quarter.
But you just walked from your apartment not too far away. Now, what brought you down here? Just curiosity?
Just the excitement, sure.
What do you think of what you've seen so far? I mean, they certainly have cleaned up the court.
Yes, it looks wonderful. I'm so excited because the streets are so clean and they even smell clean. How'd they do that?
It's Disney magic. What can I say?
I think so.
Thank you very much. And, sir, you also are from the New Orleans area?
From Metairie, yes.
So what led you down here today?
Well, we just decided to come down and make a day out of it. We went down to the aquarium and going to fight the traffic, come down here and make it worth your while, so we're going to stay for the parade.
What time did you start this morning?
We got here about 11 o'clock. Went to the aquarium, walked to the French Quarter, and just decided to spend the day down here.
So, these are your kids here, right?
That's Kelsey and Daniel.
You're looking forward to seeing a parade?
Yes.
What's your favorite Disney character? Got to think on that one, huh? I would guess Pocahontas because obviously...
Pretty good guess.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm not as dumb as I look. Okay, thanks. So, as you see, the crowd continues to build here. Lots of folks is getting thicker and thicker back all the way to the sidewalk as well. John, Margaret?
All right, John, thank you very much. Well, coming up, we're going to have Patrick Duffy. You might remember him from Dallas back in the old days, but he's going to be doing the parade for the Disney Channel. You'll see that in the coming days ahead, and we'll be talking to him a little bit.
Yeah, he says he loves New Orleans, but he's got a gig here now for the next day or so anyway, and we'll have more of our Festival of Fun coverage after we do some business.
Barbet's Dairy, the only locally owned dairy serving our community with a full line of dairy products. Now, for the first time, introducing Barbet's Premium Ice Cream. Follow our rainbow of colors to find your favorite flavor. Next time you shop for ice cream, look for Barbet's. If your grocer doesn't carry it, insist on it.
Your Milky Way to better health. We're Barbet's Dairy.
These are the items that one Schwegman store's price check found cheaper than its closest Winn-Dixie. So we know, and you will know, Schwegman is cheaper. With cheap prices like Chiquita bananas, 28 cents a pound. Fresh grade A whole fryers, 58 a pound. Farmland hot dogs, 2 packs for $1. Boneless beef sirloin steak, $2.48 a pound. And assorted banquet dinners, 88 cents.
Schwegman now. We're making low prices fun again.
A Pergo floor forgives your worst mistakes and the mistakes of others. Pergo, the revolutionary laminate floor.
Royal Floor Covering River Ridge. Design Selections Covington.
The center of excitement. Lakeside Shopping Center.
Lakeside has what you want for Father's Day. Featuring over 120 stores and specialty shops.
We always get movies and video games at Blockbuster Video. It's non-stop fun, except when we stop for Nemo, which is okay. He just hits the pause button. Get it?
Now on video, Disney's The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's the original classic animated masterpiece, and for a limited time, this ageless film can be yours to own forever. Bring the magic home today. Rated G, now for sale on video cassette.
Friends here at Dove Harry across the Plymouth Dodge Jeep and Eagle, Picayune, Mississippi, we've got the 1996 Dodge Dakota Sport on sale. All new 1996 air-conditioned, cassette, all the extra equipment that you like. Low price, $99.88. Friends, after the rebate, on at Dove Harry Chrysler and Picayune, where we got you covered, friends, from the coast to the capital.
That's a good truck, Papa.
Okay, good.
New Orleans is a city accustomed to hosting big events, whether it's a Super Bowl, of which we've had 7 now. We'll have the all-time record next year. Papal visits, you name it, but never a world premiere on this scale anyway.
But we do know how to give parades, right, Mayor Moriarty?
We know how to give parades and we know how to give a party. And today's a parade and a party. And I think it's a great day for New Orleans because gives us a chance to catapult, if you will, our image throughout the world.
Lots of kids at home watching. Tell us what you're going to be doing in the parade and who you're going to be with.
Hey, I'm going to be with Michael Eisner, Mickey, Minnie, and Donald. And we're going to be hanging out along Decatur Street, riding in the parade. And what I think people are really going to see, what's going to be a treat, is a show in the Dome tonight.
Yeah.
I was over there earlier, and what they're planning is quite impressive.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't spare any expense.
No.
What's your impression? Michael Eisner, for anybody who doesn't know, is the chairman of the board of the Walt Disney Corporation. What's your impression overall of Disney as a corporation? They call it the mouse in Hollywood.
Let me tell you, they think big. They think big, and they're into perfection, and they're into creativity, and they're willing to try new and exciting things. And I think what you have here is the best of Disney and the best of New Orleans. I think we've added a special twist to what Disney's used to. And the people of our city who see the parade are going to get a chance to see a little different twist on Disney.
All right, well, what's the, we hear all about, you can't buy this kind of publicity, and certainly we say that every time there's a Super Bowl. We probably say when there's a papal visit, although those don't come around very often. But what's the real tangible benefit?
I think the real tangible benefit is the future opportunity we hope to have to further establish our film and video industry in the city. I think hosting an event like this has given us an opportunity to be user-friendly to the industry, has given us an opportunity to showcase our assets. And I think the real impact would be if we can, out of this, encourage them to come back for more projects, encourage other companies to come back for more projects. That's
we
the
all have
benefit.
been commenting all morning long that we have never seen the French Quarter so clean.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's not, there were guys down there with brooms sweeping up every little gum wrapper as it fell. Can we do this every day?
I think we've got to do it on a regular basis, and we kicked up this cleanup effort, and these special events give us an opportunity, I think, to really show that you can not only keep the city clean or make the quarter clean and the rest of the city, but you can keep it clean. We're going to try to do this on an ongoing basis throughout the city, and we hope to regularly clean the quarter, but it took a lot of effort to get this done.
So as you ride on this float with Michael Eisner, what are you whispering into his ear?
Come back, invest, spend money, all kinds of things. Just look at New Orleans, and we've talked to him about those kind of things, and they like the city.
Thanks a lot for being with us. One
Thanks.
of our reporter told us that they were even squirting air freshener down the storm drain.
Hey, I saw that.
So it wouldn't
I
smell
saw that.
bad after the rain.
Yeah, we're trying some new things.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, great.
All right, thanks for
Okay,
coming by,
thanks.
and have fun with Minnie and Mickey and
All right, I'll
the
see
rest
you.
of the game.
See you as I ride by.
Wave to us, throw us something, okay?
You got it.
All right.
Okay, Margaret.
Mayor Morial with us to talk about the Disney extravaganza in town today. Well, this event is going to be broadcast on the Disney Channel later on tonight. Watch us all afternoon because we are going to have the parade, but later on, if you want to watch it all again, it'll be on the Disney Channel. It's a parade that really is going to be seen by people all over the world.
Was that a promo for the Disney Channel?
I hope not.
Something like I don't know. I'm not sure. The host of the coverage is Patrick Duffy of Dallas fame and some other credits to his name. He has spent the last couple of days at times pre-taping some of the coverage that they'll have. Told Fox 8's Robin Cohen that he loves New Orleans, but the heat is another story.
I've been in New Orleans for different occasions, Mardi Gras, etc. This is the first time I've actually had a job to do here, and the only negative thing that I would say about New Orleans is it's hot. It's real hot, and stars don't sweat. So I love it here. I actually do love it here, and I'd like to come here more often in the off-peak times when there aren't as many people and you can really enjoy what this city is, which is beautiful.
And maybe when it's a little bit cooler.
Well, even cooler's not so bad, but when you're packed shoulder to shoulder with people, you don't actually get to see where you are. And when it's nice and open and you get to enjoy what is here, which is architecture and history, then it's a great place to be.
You're best known for doing sitcoms and, of course, Dallas. What about this Disney venue? This is something new for you?
No, I'm also in the industry known as the parade person. For years, I did Macy's Parade for CBS, the Rose Parade for ABC and NBC, so I'm always in that job where I can listen to one person talking to me in the ear and still complete sentences and wrap out in time for a commercial. So it's a small job, but it's keep me in diapers and paper towels and things that I've needed.
All right, when you watch a Disney movie, you sometimes, it's easy to lose sight, in fact, of the fact that there are real people behind the characters.
That's right. And, of course, Quasimodo, who is the lead character in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, he is not an easy character to play. Very, very strange, kind of a deformed, sad kind of guy, an outsider. Brigitte Pellette spoke to the man who's going to do the voice for the movie. Well, what was that all about, Brigitte?
Oh, he was incredible. Well, now, you see, we've seen this man in Amadeus.
Let me get your mic fixed.
Oh, okay.
So we can Whoops. It's on. You can fix it later, but tell us about it.
We'll fix it later. All right, we've seen him. I'll tell you what, I'll just talk like this.
Okay.
We've seen him in Amadeus. We've seen him in Animal House. This is an incredibly talented actor. But all I can say is, by doing this cartoon, he said that he's never been part of anything like this, and it's everything but overwhelming to him. You'll see in this interview.
Well, you know, you work on a movie in whatever way, and you know, it never occurs to you that there's going to be a premiere at a place like this with 65,000 people. It's definitely the biggest kind of movie opening that I've been involved with.
Well, have you ever been involved before by doing the voice of a cartoon?
No.
What was the experience like for you?
It's weird. It's very lonely. You stand, you don't do it with the other actors who are doing voices. You do it all separately. Basically, you stand in front of a microphone in a little glass booth every 6 or 8 weeks over a period, for me, of 2 years, and just do it section by section. And so it's an amazing thing to see it all put together and see what they made. You start with just, they give you sketches of different sequences, and then you do all the talking, and then when they think the talking is all good and they put it all together with the other voices, then they send it off to the animators, so the animators animate to what you did.
Exactly.
But you do what you did from their sketches, so it's an amazing process.
Now, a lot of the characters in Disney, you know, Belle from Beauty and the Beast or The Little Mermaid, you see a lot of the physical characteristics of these actors and actresses in these cartoons. Now, Quasimodo is not exactly, you know, the most handsome man in the world, but you are very attractive on the other hand. Do you see physical features of yourself in Quasimodo? Did they do that with you?
I didn't see any particular, like, my eyebrows or this or that, but when I saw sections of it animated, I felt like there was something essential that they had taken in a general way, maybe more than in a specific way where, you know, it was
not necessarily a physical
my
characteristic,
nose or like
mannerism.
that. Yeah.
So they did kind of study the mannerisms.
Yeah. Didn't you think?
I don't know if I've seen Quasimodo, but...
Well, thank you.
But I mean, actually, it's a compliment. But actually, he's a very genteel character, and it's a kind of a different version.
Why, if I picked a day to fly, oh, this would be it.
I'm really interested to see the movie tonight. It'll be the first time I've seen it completely finished.
Really?
And to sort of see what 65,000 people make of it should be really interesting.
By the way, with all the commotion going on with getting my mic on straight, that was Tom Hulse, incredible actor. He was very excited about playing this role. He's, as you can tell, very overjoyed about all the festivities and seeing it on all the screens in the Superdome.
Yeah, what I learned from talking to the Disney people, which I had no idea this was true over the last couple of days, is that, you know, for example, I'd always been under the impression that they came up with this character, you find an actor and you say, okay, you play this character, whereas there really is, it's kind of a two-way street. There really is a lot of inspiration that the animators find in what the actors do with the roles.
The animators actually come in later, after the actors.
Actually, you're about to give away my story, which is coming up, which is the fact that there are things in this movie, The Hunchback, which, as Michael Eisner has put it in his opinion, is the best of all the Disney movies, things that have never been seen, perhaps in film, certainly in animated film, and we'll have more on that coming up.
We'll be back in a moment.
The best orange juice is made this way, pure and simple, using only the best tasting oranges around. At Florida Gold, we make our juice that way too, just as close to that pure, fresh squeeze taste as you can get, short of making a big, juicy mess in your kitchen. Florida Gold orange juice. The best tasting oranges, the best tasting orange juice.
No matter how you look at it, from way up here to way down here, and everything between outside in and inside out, you can depend on us. U.S. Rentals for every do-it-yourself project. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, paint sprayers, leaf blowers, generators, post hole diggers, paving breakers, pressure washers, power miters, trenchers, power pruners, and brush chippers. We've got them. We rent, sell, and finance 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. U.S. Rentals, 112 West Airline Highway, next to Security Van Lines. Call 467-15...
These flea pills cost me over $30. And look, Rusty still has fleas.
These can't kill fleas, but Scratch X flea collars do. Scratch X starts killing fleas immediately with the flea killer veterinarians prefer over all others. And Scratch X is so strong, it keeps on killing fleas and ticks all season long, yet it's safe for 3-month-old pets.
Scratch X got rid of those fleas fast.
Scratch X does what those pills can't. Scratch X kills fleas.
Friends here at Dubuisson Ford Lincoln Mercury Pick-In, we specialize in conversion vans. Look at this 1996 Mark III. Hot top, air conditioned, cruise, tilt, all the extras you like. TV. Look at this low price, $23,988. Friend, that's after rebate. On at Dubuisson Ford, Picayune, Mississippi. Frankie, what do you think about this van? Good fan, Paul. Okay, Frankie.
I'm 1-800-776-5497. Dub Herring Ford, Picayune.
Chuck E. had a vision, and now they're making your old Chuck E. Cheeses even better than before, with more tubes than ever before, more magnificent games, an ocean of prizes, and tubes, glorious tubes, spanning his great world. And when it was finally complete, they had lunch. Check out the cooler, crazier Chuck E. Cheese's, where a kid can be a kid in a whole new way.
Chuck E. Cheese, please.
The crowd has been going through rehearsals in the stands for the first part of Disney's show, and then, as we mentioned earlier tonight, a really big show in the Superdome.
If you want to know how big, well, we can tell you pretty much how big. Here are some of the numbers involved, and this is going to just boggle your mind because I'm going to read them to you. There are going to be 6 screens at the Superdome, each one 40 feet tall and 74 feet wide, and there'll be 6 of them, remember that. 112,000 feet of 70-millimeter film. There will be 300,000 feet of wire, 84,000 watts of light. And how about this? The stage is 1/3 of an acre in size. It's the largest indoor stage that has ever been built. So the stage that you'll see in the Dome is the biggest one ever indoors, and over 350 speakers.
Yeah, Disney says they could power 12 houses with the voltage, the wattage that they'll have going on.
That's amazing to think about. Now, we will see things in Hunchback tonight that you've never seen before in an animated film.
Yeah, I think we've all marveled over the years at special effects and how they've improved in movies that involve actors. Special effects are taking animation to new heights.
A Disney animated feature is more than a cartoon. It's a part of American culture, an event.
Hey, Quasi, what's going on out there? A fight? A flogging?
The Festival of Fools.
All right, all right.
Don Hahn is the movie's producer.
But I think our audiences have high expectations, and we always try to exceed those expectations when we start out making these films.
There was a conscious effort to kind of stretch the envelope on what you can do in animated features?
They are with all these films. Like, certainly this story is one that pushes us out. It's a very unlikely hero for us to be telling a story about.
Making an ugly character appealing to kids was just part of the challenge. Animated movies come together one picture at a time. To produce 1 second of movie takes 24 drawings. 2 million drawings in all, which explains why it takes 4.5 years to make a full-length film.
What you do is you think a long time about what the characters are made out of, whether it's a clock made out of wood or a gargoyle made out of stone, and then you forget about it, because basically they're representations of a character. And we want them to be characters of fantasy and play off of all the fun.
I think the cavalry's here.
The process by which the characters come to life might surprise you.
Great. What is it?
I'm not sure.
For example, the actors put the voices on tape first, before the pictures are drawn. That way the animators can time the action and capture the emotion.
The fact that they can put a look in a drawing's eyes is a thrilling thing, and so actually they're doing the acting. Whatever's good for you.
This Disney promotional tape shows artists drawing inspiration from the real Notre Dame. The company put together a team of 620 artists in 3 cities, Burbank, Orlando, and Paris. Great attention to detail is placed on mimicking human action.
Remember, Quasimodo.
Yes, Master.
This is your sanctuary.
Animators today rely on technology that Walt Disney could never have dreamed of. Computer-generated imagery, or CGI. It helped design shots in Hunchback never before seen in feature animation. A crowd of 6,000 people, which are actually a handful of drawings, duplicated by computer. When Quasi saves Esmeralda, they drew the heroes frame by frame. The computer added the crowd.
In Hunchback, one of the spectacular things are that the crowd is totally animated. They're totally alive.
So where does Disney go from here? I mean, if this is the ultimate, what next?
Well, we'll stretch out in new directions. We did, certainly Lion King was a departure for us, Pocahontas. We try to step out in a new direction that we haven't gone before.
Next summer, we'll bring us Hercules, and in '98, Tarzan. And for the producers, a challenge. Stretch the boundaries of Disney magic.
Take it from us, Quasi. You've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you're irresistible.
Knights in shining armor certainly aren't your type.
And those guys are a dime a dozen. But you're one of a kind.
Disney has buried us, snowed us under in statistics, but one of my favorite statistics is 21,000 pencils. That's what they went through.
A lot of pencil.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody was cheating and not using all their pencil, but it took 21,000.
I don't know. I bet they use all the pencils and then recycle what's left over or something. Well, when we come back, we're going to tell you what it took to get the Superdome in shape for this big movie premiere tonight.
What's going on out there? A fight? A flogging?
A festival. Once a year we throw a party here in town.
You're not hurt, are you? No. See? No harm done. By the way, great mask.
Barbe's ice cream makes your dreams come true.
Center of excitement, Lakeside Shopping Center. The center of action, the center of fun, the center of fashion for everyone. All of the looks and the styles that you seek are in the center where you wanna be. It's the center of excitement, there's always something going on. The center of excitement, the center of Lakeside Shopping Center. Center of excitement.
These are the items that one Schwegman store's price check found cheaper than its closest Winn-Dixie. So we know, and you will know, Schwegman is cheaper. With cheap prices like Chiquita bananas, 28 cents a pound. Fresh grade A whole fryers, 58 a pound. Farmland hot dogs, 2 packs for $1. Boneless beef sirloin steak, $2.48 a pound. And assorted banquet dinners, 88 cents.
Schwegman now. We're making low prices fun again.
Women pay more than men at the dry cleaners, at the hairdresser. And you know, I'd like to buy a new car, but I've heard women pay more at the dealerships, too.
I've heard that. A woman can spend $1,000 more than a man on the same car. But I know a dealer who'll treat you right.
Who?
Tony LaUza at Causeway Chrysler.
There's only one price for both men and women. For the best buys, buy at Tony LaUza's.
Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle, 5 minutes from the causeway on the North Shore.
Before you put on your lipstick, blush, or mascara, your face needs a flawless finish. That's why you need new Corn Silk Liquid. Corn Silk's flawless, natural-looking coverage lasts and lasts. New Corn Silk Liquid, where flawless faces begin.
When pain strikes, go for the Flexall and get going again. In clinical tests, people suffering from pain confirmed that aloe vera-based Flexall penetrates deep to bring fast-acting, long-lasting relief. Flexall.
And we're back with our coverage of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, as opposed to the Halfback of Notre Dame, which would be
two different animals.
Totally different concept. We talked earlier about the big show tonight in the Superdome. There, an army of workers is still working now on trying to transform that into what it'll be tonight, the biggest stage, indoor stage in the world.
Well, crews have been working nonstop for 5 days, and they continue today trying to put on the finishing touches. Let's go back now to Rob Masson, who is standing by live at the Dome to tell us all about it. Rob?
Well, Margaret, they're busy inside. As you can see outside here, it looks like a Saints game here at the Superdome. The doors open at 3 o'clock. As you can see, the traffic is already backed up nearly to the interstate. And back on the ramp behind me, you can see there's a long line of people waiting to get inside. Of course, this is a major undertaking for the Superdome, a stadium that's used to hosting major events. The Disney people have been trying to keep a tight lid on things, but we did get a peek behind the scenes at some of the intangible magic that has become a Disney hallmark. The 500-voice choir was among hundreds of people working today to make sure the Hunchback goes off without a hitch tonight.
It's been a great experience. It's been real accommodating. A lot of last-minute changes, but a lot of fun.
That's Entertainment, a local party provider, has been working feverishly the last 4 days, blowing up balloons for each rehearsal, trying to make sure everything is just right.
All the balloons that we're doing have to be certain sizes and in certain placements, and we want them to look just perfect. I mean, we want these to be bubbles, not balloons. These are the bubbles for the fish, and we want everyone to believe that.
The Superdome floor was a beehive with workers installing 5 miles of cable needed for the 11 cameras to be used for the live telecast of tonight's festivities.
To have done this show with a month to move it in and set it up and all of that would have been wild and crazy, and to try to do it in a matter of days is a tremendous challenge.
Certainly, the mega event is nothing new for the Dome, which has hosted everything from a visit by Pope John Paul II in 1987 to the Republican Convention in 1988 to a host of Super Bowls, including the 1990 contest between San Francisco and Denver. Superdome officials say the Disney people had been looking over the huge facility since last Mardi Gras and made their decision to come here through some on-site research.
The night they really lit up was when they saw the Endymion extravaganza in here and saw how the Superdome could be treated for a mega spectacular entertainment event.
What they found is a great place to throw a party. Plenty of room for a stage 1/3 of an acre in size and a 26-story roof to hang 6 movie screens and 60 tons of equipment for a theater audience expected to be 60,000 strong.
We're going nonstop, almost around the clock.
The Dome's huge hospitality areas have also been transformed to resemble the large chambers in a medieval castle. Blaine Kern's Mardi Gras Float Company continues a long-standing relationship with Disney, a perfect marriage of Mardi Gras magic with the kingdom that Mickey built, although Mardi Gras had a 60-year head start.
They've been in business a few years now with all this type of work, but yeah, it's year-round.
It's big business, all right. Disney is paying rent on the Dome for at least 6 days, going rate $25,000 a day. Tonight's mega event will serve as a tremendous marketing tool for the movie, of course, but also for the city and a new interactive CD-ROM game coming to a computer store near you.
It's sort of a combination of a computer and a video game, which is going to be set up at the after premiere party. And what it'll do is give the public a chance to, and a lot of times it's aimed for the kids, but it'll also give the adults a chance to look at this and play a video game that has the Hunchback of Notre Dame as a theme.
Well, they're using just about every square inch of the Dome, and the decoration is exciting. I mean, every place you look, there will be representation of Disney characters in the movie and that sort of stuff. It is very, very elaborate. It's first class, and everything they have discussed with us has been just with that, not how can we do it, but how can we do it better.
And of course, everything Disney does attempts to be better than anyone else, and that certainly has been the case in the Superdome. There's an air of opening night jitters out there in the Dome at this hour. Everyone's waiting on the reviews to come in after the airing of the premiere tonight of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. John, Margaret?
All right, they should have a friendly crowd, though. I would think 60,000 pretty loyal people tonight in the Superdome.
With free tickets.
That's true.
Well,
where are we going now?
The break.
You know, it's time to pay some bills.
Yeah, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Friends here at Dove Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, and Picayune, we've got acres and acres of new cars and trucks. We've got a 1996 Aerostar XLT on sale. Has all the extra equipment, including cruise control, air conditioning, 7 passengers. Low price, $15,688. Friends, that's after the rebate. That's on at Dove Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, and Picayune. Come on over to lower price. Come on over to Picayune.
That's a good car, Papa.
Okay.
You've been waiting for it all year, and it's here. Adler's famous summer sale, 40 to 75% off store-wide. One day only, June 22nd. Mark your calendar. Adler's Canal Street only.
No matter how you look at it, from way up here to way down here,
and everything between outside in and inside out. You can depend on us. U.S. Rentals for every do-it-yourself project. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, paint sprayers, leaf blowers, generators, post hole diggers, paving breakers, pressure washers, power miters, trenchers, power pruners, and brush chippers. We've got them. We rent, sell, and finance 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. U.S. Rentals, 112 West Airline Highway, next to Security Van Lines. Call 467-15.
The center of excitement. Lakeside Shopping Center. The center of action, the center of fun. The center of fashion for everyone. All of the looks and the styles that you seek are in the center where you want to be. It's the center of excitement. There's always something going on. The center of excitement. The center of Lakeside Shopping Center. Center of excitement.
Look at their prices. A man's haircut costs much less than a woman's.
I know it. And listen to this. I have to take my husband with me to buy my new car because I know that if I go alone, I'll have to pay more.
Oh, no. Becky, I know a place where you can go by yourself and get whatever you want and get the same price as a man.
Where?
Tony LaUza's Causeway Chrysler.
There's only one price for both men and women. For the best buys, buy at Tony LaUza's.
Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle, 5 minutes from the causeway on the North Shore.
Barbet's Dairy, the only locally owned dairy serving our community with a full line of dairy products. Now, for the first time, introducing Barbet's Premium Ice Cream. Follow our rainbow of colors to find your favorite flavor. Next time you shop for ice cream, look for Barbet's. If your grocer doesn't carry it, insist on it.
Your Milky Way to better health. We're Barbet's Dairy.
We're just about 6 minutes from the start of what Disney is calling its Festival of Fun Parade, and certainly the biggest incentive to get this thing off on time would be that we have a break at the moment in the weather. Some of the dignitaries are showing up now just a couple minutes ago, and in fact, I looked out a few seconds ago and saw Roy Disney, the nephew of Walt Disney, so it looks like we might be pretty close to on
Things will be starting
time.
pretty soon, yeah.
Disney really didn't have to look too far to find local talent for their marching bands.
You know, bands are sort of like throws. You've got to have them for a parade in New Orleans, and you've got to have good bands besides that. Bands for this parade have practiced for weeks.
Penny.
John McDonough High School's band practiced up until this morning. The bands will perform different music from Disney's various animated films. McDonough will perform this song from The Little Mermaid. It's called Part of Our World. The band director says Disney scouted out local talent during Mardi Gras.
He had a chance to see us in one of the Mardi Gras parades, and he heard that we won first place in the Bacchus parade, and he mailed us the application, and we filled it out and faxed it to him, and hey, we was on our way.
Yeah, they're ready, and there are going to be a lot of good bands and a lot of pretty floats in the parade today.
Yeah, they had something like 45 minutes, basically, a day, effectively, but 45 minutes of practice time to learn the songs,
yeah.
which will be interesting to see if they go with some of the fallback traditional stuff, which is what they were planning, or if we have a lot of the Disney music. John Huffman's down on Decatur Street at Decatur and Conti, in fact, a couple blocks from here, with some people anxiously awaiting the start of the parade. John?
John, all eyes are on the sky right now. About 5 minutes ago, there was a peal of thunder, and you could hear the crowd going, oh, they're so wanting the parade to get going, especially before it starts raining, or if it does happen to rain. People have been here for quite a while, staked out their positions. How long have you been here? You've been here at least an hour, I've seen.
Oh, we've been here at least 4 hours.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it has. It's been that long. We're not moving. If it starts raining, we got 3 umbrellas.
I've got to ask you about this. Can we turn this around in just a minute?
Ask her about that.
This is a pennant. Let me see this just a second. It says Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Where did you get this?
She got it for him. I don't even
From
know.
the merchandise. Nobody ever said that Disney wasn't the master of merchandising. They got merchandise stands set up all along the way selling these. How much did you pay for this?
$5.
$5? Well, see, it works. See, they know what they're doing. And, ma'am, I bet you two just can't wait for this parade to get
I
started.
can't wait for it to get started.
What's going to happen if it starts raining? What are you going to
I
do?
have an umbrella.
Ah, you're a smart woman.
I'm
All
ready.
right.
I have an umbrella. I'm ready.
All right, here's hoping to get started soon. Thanks a lot. Let's walk across the street here. See what's happening over this way. Speaking of umbrellas, man, we've been seeing your umbrella in every shot, and where did you get this?
Disney World in Orlando.
Of course.
I'm a kindergarten teacher, so I had to bring it back for my class. But it has paid off today, though.
Yeah.
Whether it's the weather or for you guys.
Okay, now, you have some of your kids here with you?
Yeah, there's John, Paul, and Katie. They're my children. His best buddy, Lee. We have a visitor from Arkansas, that's Garrett, and a little Kool-Aid girl in the back, Darby from Arkansas, who came just for today.
The one who spilled the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
We're
Okay.
going to the Dome after this.
Okay, well, have a good time. Thanks. Stay dry. Stay under the ears. Okay, back to you, John and Margaret.
Well, it's getting pretty exciting now because right behind us in Jackson Square, we just saw Minnie and Mickey come in, Roger Rabbit, a whole bunch of the Disney characters are now, yeah, you see one of Roger Rabbit's ears sticking up.
That might be good to hide under the rain when it comes.
Everybody's getting onto this now. We know that that they're over there.
Traffic's a concern this afternoon. Let's go to Dave Barry, find out how that looks. Dave?
Oh, we're starting to see some stack-ups around the Superdome. The Poydras exit from I-10 eastbound is now backed up, say, onto the interstate to between Jeff Davis and Broad right now. Elsewhere, it's looking good around the Superdome, a little heavier than usual. The real heavy traffic is in the adjacent streets to the parade route itself, as they have it all blocked off. Traffic's having a good bit of time getting around in that general vicinity. And a reminder, at 4:30, they open the Superdome for the Disney parking, and if you're parked at the Dome when the premier parking begins, you will have your car towed away. And that's a look at traffic. Back to you, John. Margaret?
Follow all the rules is the best advice. Thanks, Dave.
All right, and the weather is starting to look a little threatening, and we don't want to hear that because Mickey, Minnie, all the guys are out here now. So Ken Oakwen is with us and to tell us what the weather's going to do. Ken?
Yeah, well, it looks like the raindrops will be falling in the next 10, 15 minutes or so. It's not very far away. We're in a lull right now. We had some rain come through about an hour and a half ago. That's to our east now. Nothing happening right over town right now, but there's a band of rain extending north to south. The heaviest activity is just to the southwest of us from Kenner westward. Now, here's Lake Salvador here. This is a band of very heavy rains. Anytime you see the red showing up. This is a very thin band, though, and probably would only last about 10 minutes if it swiped the city. Right now, it looks like it may clip the West Bank and miss us. We hope so. It's going to be a very close call. In any event, more rain is coming in. It may be of the lighter variety as the heavier rains that were showing up earlier have kind of thinned out just a little bit. But this is going to be some light to moderate rain. And again, on the West Bank, probably heavier rain than that. Looks like that's going to pass by in about an hour, and then we're going to get it back into another break. But there's more rain forming out west of Baton Rouge near Lafayette. That's going to be coming our way for this evening. So again, we're in this pattern of off and on rainfall, and that's going to continue for the next several hours and into the evening hours. So if you're going to be heading out, make sure you take along the umbrella. You will need it for a time today.
We needed it earlier. Hopefully we won't need it for about the next 2 hours, hopefully.
I know. Mickey and Minnie are in Jackson Square all ready to go. We're going to show you the parade and the show out here when we come back.
Easy. I just shaved this morning.
Oh, really? You missed it.
No matter how you look at it, from way up here to way down here, and everything between outside in and inside out, you can depend on us. U.S. Rentals for every do-it-yourself project. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, paint sprayers, leaf blowers, generators, post hole diggers, paving breakers, pressure washers, power miters, trenchers, power pruners, and brush chippers. We've got them. We rent, sell, and finance 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. U.S. Rentals, 112 West Airline Highway, next to Security Van Lines. Call 467-15.
The
These are the items that one Schwegman store's price check found cheaper than its closest Winn-Dixie. So we know, and you will know, Schwegman is cheaper. With cheap prices like Chiquita bananas, 28 cents a pound. Fresh grade A whole fryers, 58 a pound. Farmland hot dogs, 2 packs for $1. Boneless beef sirloin steak, $2.48 a pound. And assorted banquet dinners, 88 cents.
Schwegman now. We're making low prices fun again.
Barbay's ice cream makes your dreams come true.
We're just a couple minutes away. We're actually a couple minutes past when they were set to start the program, but everybody's getting on the stage as we speak. I haven't noticed if they have any of the quasi characters or anything. I see a lot of the familiar Disney characters. At some point, I guess we'll see Quasimodo and some of the others.
I'm sure he'll be. Well, I think the mayor said he was going to ride on the float with him, didn't he?
Right.
So we'll see about that.
I guess he's the star of the day.
Yeah, a little
They add
bit,
him to the family and count on all those millions of dollars of revenue of kids who have to have the Quasimodo doll.
Or a lunchbox, or pajamas, or a backpack, and what have you. Let's tell you a little bit about the parade that you're going to see in just a few minutes. There will be 14 floats. You might recognize some of these if you've been to Disney World or Disneyland and watched the parades there. They are the best of the floats from the parades at the different theme parks. It takes 25 batteries to power each float. A lot of these floats have moving parts and electrical lights on them, all sorts of fancy things. There will be 2,100 people participating in the parade. Also 12 local bands. McDonough will be one of the bands, the John McDonough High School Band, and more than 250,000 throws, 250,000 throws. You got to have those in a New Orleans parade. They don't throw anything ever at the parades at the theme parks, at the Magic Kingdom and whatnot, but you can't have a parade here without
Maybe
doing it.
maybe
It would
they
just
will
be too
now.
weird.
Maybe they'll see the fun of it.
Maybe they'll see the fun and start doing it, change their ways.
Start throwing moon pies or something.
Yeah, beads and doubloons
Maybe
and
not.
cups. Underpants. Can you vision that? I don't think
Not
so.
at Disney World,
No.
I can't.
Not unless they were little Mickey Mouse.
You're going to get yourself in a lot of
let's
trouble
stop
where
there.
you're going. The crowd looked pretty good here. This is the police department has described this as sort of a mini Mardi Gras, and the way this has affected the police is basically in one district, the area covering the French Quarter and then the CBD. For the police department working in that area, this is actually very much a Mardi Gras schedule. A lot of overtime, 12-hour days, very much as it would be during the final weekend of Carnival and the build-up. In this case, it's just one district it's happening to, and police say that they're really not sure how much the overtime will cost. They do believe, though, that the mayor certainly says that this is worth the expense. Disney's paying for a lot of this anyway, so there aren't as many city expenses save for the deodorant that they're putting in the sewers, I guess.
And the mayor said he's viewing this as a very long-range investment in the city's future. And I guess the big difference between this and your average Mardi Gras parade crowd, do you hear how quiet this crowd is? Very, very low-key, very well-behaved. I guess it's mostly a family group, but also there's not a lot of beer drinking going on. Bad news for the bars in the quarter, I guess, but it's very much a quiet, subdued crowd.
There's a lot of root beer drinking going on.
A lot of root beer drinking. You're right, John.
All right. We saw in the crowd a couple minutes ago Roy Disney, who's the nephew of Walt Disney, one of the last Disney family links in a prominent role. He is vice chairman of the Disney Corporation and somebody who has tracked the evolution of animation. Brigitte had a chance to talk with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Duffy.
Now, we all know that Walt Disney. Okay, I think we're going to go back because Patrick Duffy, I just heard that.
Patrick Duffy is here now on the stage, and we'll listen to what he's got to say.
Behind me is the beautiful St. Louis Cathedral, and it is the perfect place to begin the world premiere party for Walt Disney Pictures' The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is Disney's 34th animated feature film, and they have literally taken over the city of New Orleans for this huge celebration called the Festival of Fun, and it's starting right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mark Morial, the mayor of New Orleans, Michael Eisner, head of the Walt Disney Company, and New Orleans Councilman Troy Carter.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? We are so proud to be able to be here in front of St. Louis Cathedral. Very proud, and I want you to know New Orleans loves Disney. Disney loves New Orleans, and New Orleans... And New Orleans and Disney love you and the world. We're pleased to be able to host the world premiere of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I want to especially thank Michael Eisner and his entire team for selecting our city as we join together to bring Disney magic to New Orleans and to the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, today you are in for a day of excitement, a parade, and a world spectacular presentation in the New Orleans Superdome. At this time, I'm very pleased to be able to introduce the person who has the distinct honor of representing this neighborhood on the New Orleans City Council, the Honorable Troy Carter.
All right. Are we ready to have a good time? Are we ready to have a good time? We want to welcome all of the visitors that are here, and certainly the residents, and certainly Disney, and thank you for recognizing the beauty and charm that the French Quarter has to offer. We are so very pleased that you chose New Orleans, so very pleased that you chose our historic French Quarter, and more importantly, that you recognized the beauty, the ambience, and the integrity of the French Quarter in working with us. God bless you. We're so happy that you're here. Let's have a good time.
Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to extend a very, very special thanks this afternoon to all of the citizens of New Orleans, the citizens of Greater New Orleans, who worked so hard and opened their arms to the Disney organization. Give yourselves a great hand. And now, by the powers vested in me as mayor of this city, I am very pleased to be able to declare this day as Hunchback of Notre Dame Day in the city of New Orleans. And as is customary, I am very pleased to be able to present a gumbo certificate to Mr. Michael Eisner, the chairman of Disney. Oh, thank you, Minnie. All right, Mickey, you got to have sure hands. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I want you to join me in welcoming to New Orleans the chairman of Disney, Michael Eisner.
Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you very much. The president of the Walt Disney Company, Michael Ovitz, and I, and the 99,500 people that lead us at the Walt Disney Company really appreciate being here today. I want to recognize, amongst other people, that with us today is the vice chairman of the Walt Disney Company, who brought me to the Disney Company in 1984, Roy Disney, who is sitting down in front. You may have noticed he was the star of our television show last night at 8:30 on ABC, which reminds me, by the way, one of our board members is here, the CEO of Capital Cities ABC, a company with which we just arranged a marriage, Tom Murphy. In addition, and I'm sorry to do this, but I think it's interesting that our entire corporation really has come here to New Orleans in front of the Basilica of St. Louis, which I understand is the oldest cathedral in America, and therefore appropriate place for us to celebrate Victor Hugo, a French writer, with an American-French movie called The Hunchback of Notre Dame. We have with us today, for your information, Mr. Mayor, the head of our entire studios operation, Joe Roth. We have with us today the man who leads our animation department, and Peter Schneider. And in case you didn't guess, we also have with us 463 animators that worked on this film. Which is why Peter Schneider got more applause than Michael Ovitz. However, guys, he decides the bonuses. Anyway. I just want to specifically thank you and the entire citizens of this great city. We have never been anywhere that we've had more cooperation, that we've had more fun. We're kind of a silly company with a serious purpose of entertaining people, and this seems like the perfect city, one of the few cities left in America that has a real culture, a real sense of who you are, and a real place for the Walt Disney Company to come. So I want to thank you again for your hospitality. Now, we have a terrific day planned here, and you'll notice Roy was telling me 5 minutes ago that if it's going to go well, we have a thing called Walt weather. And you notice the rain has stopped. We're now under what we call at the Walt Disney Company Walt weather. We were going to have a culmination of this day after this great parade of showing this fantastic film, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, in the Superdome, which is something I'm looking forward to because it's air conditioned. I just want to make one other introduction, because without the creative team, including the 463 of 650 animators that are here today, we have with us today the producer of the film, Don Hahn. Don, stand up. We have the directors of the film, Kurt Wise and Gary Trousdale. Gentlemen, please stand up. And we have the composers of the film, who have so many Academy Awards I can't even start to list them, Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz. So for what it's worth, today in New Orleans you have the Disney A-Team. I would now like to thank you again for the last time, although I'll be doing it on and on the rest of the day, for hosting us, to say finally it's time to let the Hunchback of Notre Dame festivities begin. Let the parade begin.
And as a silly company with a serious purpose continues the party here on Decatur, we'll be back with the start of the parade in just a moment.
The best orange juice is made this way, pure and simple, using only the best tasting oranges around. At Florida Gold, we make our juice that way too, just as close to that pure, fresh squeeze taste as you can get, short of making a big, juicy mess in your kitchen. Florida Gold orange juice. The best tasting oranges, the best tasting orange juice.
Want to really turn heads this summer? Start with Sun-In or new Sun-In for men. Natural-looking highlights you control. New conditioners for a silkier shine. See what we mean? Sun-In, highlights that get you noticed.
How quick can you protect yourself from the sun? This quick with Bullfrog Quick Gel. Quick Gel goes on quick, leaves no residue, and protects all day, in and out of the water. Get Bullfrog Quick Gel, the ultimate waterproof sunblock.
These are the items that one Schwegman store's price check found cheaper than its closest Winn-Dixie. So we know, and you'll know, Schwegman is cheaper. With cheap prices like Chiquita bananas, 28 cents a pound. Fresh grade A whole fryers, 58 a pound. Farmland hot dogs, 2 packs for $1. Boneless beef sirloin steak, $2.48 a pound. And assorted banquet dinners, 88 cents.
Schwegman now. We're making low prices fun again.
It's summer savings time at Tony Lius's Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle. Have a Cherokee summer with over 20 grand Cherokees to choose from. And for only $12,996, get a Jeep Cherokee SE. Hey, New Orleans, want to cruise the beach this summer? Want heads to turn? Then get rolling to Tony Lius and save on the sexy Sebring. Or save $3,000 on the Chrysler LHS.
For Best Buys, men and women come to Tony Lius's.
Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle.
These flea pills cost me over $30. And look, Rusty still has fleas.
These can't kill fleas, but Scratch X flea collars do. Scratch X starts killing fleas immediately with the flea killer veterinarians prefer over all others. And Scratch X is so strong, it keeps on killing fleas and ticks all season long, yet it's safe for 3-month-old pets.
Scratch X got rid of those fleas fast.
Scratch X does what those pills can't. Scratch X kills fleas.
Friends, we're here at Popo's Camper City, Gulfport, off of Highway 49, to introduce you to some of this month's specials on RVs. Look at this 1996 Marauder 30-footer, fully loaded, roof air, TV, all the extras, $41,988. Look at this brand new 96 Paran, 34-footer, slide out, 2 central air conditioners, hardwood floors, and more, $68,988.
That's a good motorhome, Papa.
And the first few units of the parade are passing by right here on Decatur Street at Jackson Square. The first few units, of course, being carriages with city officials and Disney officials, and more importantly, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Pluto, who else, John? Chip and Dale, Roger Rabbit, Pinocchio. Did I get them all?
No, you couldn't possibly get them all.
I left off
if you were the premier Disney trivia person, it would be tough to get them all.
And here comes the, if you look down the street, coming into view, I think this is the Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty float.
Sleeping Beauty's float.
The first of those out of the 14 that they brought in from Disneyland and Disney World. It took a couple of semis just to bring in the sound equipment at the dome that they'll have today.
And you know what's amazing about these floats? If you notice, the float riders actually get off of the float from time to time and dance in the street and perform a little bit and get back on.
And occasionally a lot of interaction with the crowd, depending upon who the character is and what they're doing. So a different spin.
And here you see Sleeping Beauty and the Handsome Prince, the 3 fairy godmothers, and that evil, wicked old queen up on top. Well, I forgot what her name is. Maleficent? Maleficent, the evil, wicked queen. But there's Sleeping Beauty, the heroine of the whole story.
And the throws are not flying off, but
no,
they are
this
getting
is not
used
Endymion. But occasionally things are flying out into the crowd.
They do have some special throws, though, and I understand some special souvenir merchandise in some of the Disney stores only that they will have for only a couple of days that are commemorative of the world premiere opening.
And it's a beautiful float. And no Blaine Kern tractors pulling these little numbers either. No. They sort of magically go on their own.
They sort of magically go with about 25 batteries inside.
Yeah, wow. I guess that's why the parade can't be too long.
Let's see if we can pick up on what she's saying.
No! Prince Philip! You break the spell!
Now, you won't see that at a Bacchus parade.
Pardon?
You won't see that at a Bacchus parade.
No.
This has been a big thrill for a lot of high school bands from around the area, including the Como High Band, the Spartans of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Marching in their warm weather gear. Como High School Band from Lafayette, Louisiana. I Just Can't Wait to Be King from The Lion King.
They, I'll tell you, these kids got that music a day or so ago, so they learned it in a hurry.
They're quick studies. We're going to take a break and be back with lots more parade after this.
Barbet's Dairy, the only locally owned dairy serving our community with a full line of dairy products. Now, for the first time, introducing Barbet's Premium Ice Cream. Follow our rainbow of colors to find your favorite flavor. Next time you shop for ice cream, look for Barbet's. If your grocer doesn't carry it, insist on it.
Your Milky Way to better health. We're Barbet's Dairy.
No matter how you look at it, from way up here to way down here, and everything between outside in and inside out. You can depend on us.
U.S. Rentals for every do-it-yourself project. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, paint sprayers, leaf blowers, generators, post hole diggers, paving breakers, pressure washers, power miters, trenchers, power pruners, and brush chippers.
We've got them. We rent, sell, and finance 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. U.S. Rentals, 112 West Airline Highway, next to Security Van Lines. Call 467-15.
The center of excitement, Lakeside Shopping Center. The center of action, the center of fun, the center of fashion for everyone.
All of the looks and the styles that you seek are in the center where you want to be.
It's the center of excitement, there's always something going on. The center of excitement, the center of fun.
Lakeside Shopping Center, center of excitement.
You've been waiting for it all year, and it's here. Adler's famous summer sale, 40 to 75% off store-wide. One day only, June 22nd. Mark your calendar. Adler's Canal Street only.
Can a woman get a fair deal on a new car? Men still get better deals than women much of the time. On the same car, Heidi's price was $25,500. Joseph's price was $24,300. Heidi paid $1,200 more.
That won't happen at Tony LaUse's. There's only one price for both men and women. For the best buys, buy at Tony LaUse's.
Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle, 5 minutes from the causeway on the North Shore.
Friends, here at Popo's Camper City, we have the 1996 Holiday Rambler Endeavor, 32-footer, on sale this month, $57,988. Friends, that's only at Popo's Camper City in Picayune and Gulfport, where you get your best deal on an RV from the coast to the capital.
Are you there yet? Are you there yet? Are you there yet, Papa?
No, not yet, Elkie.
That's Papa's Camper City, Picayune, and Gulfport, Mississippi.
These are the items that one Schwegman store's price check found cheaper than its closest Winn-Dixie. So we know, and you will know, Schwegman is cheaper. With cheap prices like Chiquita bananas, 28 cents a pound. Fresh grade A whole fryers, 58 a pound. Farmland hot dogs, 2 packs for $1. Boneless beef sirloin steak, $2.48 a pound. And assorted banquet dinners, 88 cents.
Schwegman now. We're making low prices fun again.
We're back with Alice in Wonderland. The hookah smoking caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, and this was a magnificent sight to see coming down the street because the dancers are inside, just their legs showing as though the legs of the caterpillar are wiggling, and then all the butterflies jump out from the caterpillar and begin to dance in the street.
Yeah, every once in a while the Queen, I don't know if she'll do it for us here, but the Queen supposedly steps out and walks up to the audience, shows them who's boss.
Yeah.
For the beginning of the parade.
She sort of beats up Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
There is a path to Wonderland, over the hill or here or there, Wonderland.
Great flavor, a mix of Mardi Gras with the throws and then the traditional Disney.
Well, I love the way the floats are kind of interactive, and the maskers get off the float and dance in the street. You have to wonder how that would work at one of our Mardi Gras parades. Or
I don't know, would they do it with or without flambeau?
I guess it could get a little dangerous with the flambeau. You see here what I meant about the legs of the caterpillar, and then the next thing you see is the butterflies emerge.
You lose sight, when you see this, you lose sight of the fact that Michael Eisner talked about having been brought into the company 12 years ago, I guess now. 12 years ago, a lot of the so-called experts saw this company as sort of limping along, and just an amazing turnaround. They are really, were to some extent then, but especially now, a part of American culture.
A crowd favorite now on the streets, the John McDonough, this is McDonough 35 rather, not John McDonough High School. Oh, they'd string me up for that one. This is McDonough 35, Senior High School. I'm in trouble now.
Some New Orleans culture.
Yeah, I caught my mistake. McDonough 35. High school.
How big is Disney?
How big is Disney?
Little fact here. Disney is about, well, they said 95,000 employees, which is, I gather that's from absorbing ABC. They're about a $13 to $15 billion company, or if you want to look at it another way, the Disney Corporation is the size of the state of Louisiana's budget each year. That's a big company.
And they do it all without a legislature and a governor, too. Somehow, some way. McDonough 35 on the street now. And let's see what Disney tune they're going to be playing. Is that what that is?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
They learned it well.
There of Disney music, Zippity-Doo-Dah. Very nice from McDonough 35, senior high school. And as if I needed any reminder, the girls are all carrying flags with 35 on it. They won't let me live this down.
That's a little hint for you next time.
That's a hint.
Well, I know we mentioned it before, but really a great tribute to the musical talent in New Orleans to think, and we heard a lot of talk from the kids about this over the last few days about, gee, we got one day to learn this song, one or 2 hour session, but they came through.
And they did it beautifully. Now, there are to be 14 float units in this parade. We've already seen 2 of them, Snow White and Alice in Wonderland, and seen a marching band from Lafayette and one from right here in New Orleans.
As we get a lull here, let's talk a little bit about the story of the Hunchback. Really a very unlikely character for a Disney film, a character in Quasimodo that certainly Victor Hugo saw as ugly, so you wouldn't expect to see that. There's a sort of a Beauty and the Beast kind of aspect to this.
Except that with Quasimodo, there's no hidden prince.
No, there isn't.
He's not, he's just exactly what he appears to be, which is a lonely outsider who is sort of isolated from the world.
And in a very gritty, dark and dreary setting of 1847, and a little bit brighter certainly in places in the Disney movie. The basic storyline, we don't want to give it away, but the basic storyline is that he's sheltered, a lonely, isolated figure who is, through a series of events, persuaded to leave and buck the wishes of his guardian, Judge Claude Frollo. So that'll set it up for you.
Right, and he is the bell ringer. And in the original, in the book, of course, he's deaf. He is the deaf bell ringer of the bells of the Cathedral of Notre Dame. In the movie, in the Disney movie, they chose not to make him deaf, but But at any rate, you see the contrast between beauty and physical ugliness and all these different things.
The ending's a little more upbeat, too, being Disney.
Let's hope so.
All right, we'll take a break here and be back with more of our Festival of Fun parade coverage in just a moment.
A Pergo floor forgives your worst mistakes. And the mistakes of others. Pergo, the revolutionary laminate floor.
Kennedy's Decorating Center, Franklinton. Charlie's Custom Colors, Picayune.
The center of excitement, Lakeside Shopping Center. The center of action, the center of fun, the center of fashion for everyone.
All of the looks and the styles that you seek are in the center where you wanna be.
It's the center of excitement, there's always something going on. The center of excitement, the center of
Lakeside Shopping Center, center of excitement.
Women pay more than men at the dry cleaners, at the hairdresser. And you know, I'd like to buy a new car, but I've heard women pay more at the dealerships, too.
I've heard that. A woman can spend $1,000 more than a man on the same car. But I know a dealer who'll treat you right.
Who?
Tony LaUza at Causeway Chrysler.
There's only one price for both men and women. For the best buys, buy at Tony LaUza's.
Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle, 5 minutes from the causeway on the North Shore.
Judy's Hallmark is a wide selection of Hallmark cards and collectibles, plus fragrances, gifts, delivery, and mail services. Judy's Hallmark. If you have a talent for hair, skin, or nails, Moeller Beauty College can give you the education to explore exciting career opportunities. Financial aid available. Start your beautiful future today by calling or stopping by any of the 5 convenient campuses of Moeller Beauty College. Get your cellular phone from Video Connection. No credit check, no long-term contract, $39.95 a month rental from Video Connection.
Barbe's ice cream makes your dreams come true.
No matter how you look at it, from way up here to way down here, and everything between outside in and inside out, you can depend on us. U.S. Rentals for every do-it-yourself project. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, paint sprayers, leaf blowers, generators, post hole diggers, paving breakers, pressure washers, power miters, trenchers, power pruners, and brush chippers. We've got them. We rent, sell, and finance 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. U.S. Rentals, 112 West Airline Highway, next to security van lines. Call 467-15.
Friends here at Popo's Camper City, Picayune, Mississippi, look what we've got on sale. 1996 Coachman ultralight travel trailer, 19-footer. All the extra equipment that you like, including air conditioning, awning, low price. 10% down, $129 a month. Only at Popo's Camper City in Picayune, now also located Highway 49, Gulfport, Mississippi. What do you think about this motorhome, Christina?
That's a good RV, Papa.
Okay.
And here comes the Toy Story float. We just listened to the Andrew J. Bell Junior High School Band playing the theme from the Mickey Mouse Club. And I love this float. I love the Green Army guys.
Yeah, you noticed a second ago that if you look really closely, you can see their feet.
Their feet are stuck together. And they look just like the Green Army guys. I don't know what those, what kind of material their costumes are made out of.
That's great. Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, you see Ham and Buzz and Woody and all the toys from the Nursery, Little Bo Peep. It's a great float.
They have a new movie in a couple years called Bugs, which is another of these.
Buzz?
Bugs, like talking insects. That'll be out in a couple years. It's by the same people that put out the Toy Story, all computer generated. They're not drawing there as much as they're computer generating all of these.
And Toy Story was a whole new breakthrough for Disney with the stop time animation. I think, is that what they call it? Stop time animation? Something like that. But a very different form of animation than we had seen in the past. Now we have Xavier Prep High School. They let the ladies in on this one. They didn't just keep it to the co-ed schools. Xavier Prep, one of the premier girls' schools in the city. And they always put a great band out on the street for parades.
Another Lion King song?
Yeah.
What is that? Can You Feel the Love? It's the Elton John
That's
song.
the Elton John song from Lion King. Xavier Prep, a much smaller school than many of the public schools, and they always put just an incredible marching band on the street, even though they're drawing from a much smaller student body population.
Yeah, that seemed like a difficult song to learn, too, in a short period of time.
They always do a good job.
That wasn't zippity-doo-dah.
No. But I bet zippity-doo-dah's not so easy either when you think about it.
Well, not if you have 45 minutes to learn it, I guess.
No. So this is really a fun parade that's mixing up the New Orleans tradition of the big marching bands on the street, mixing up the tradition of throws with the traditional Disney type of parade, which is something that we don't see here very often.
All of the ties are amazing. No coincidence, obviously, that they are doing this in front of the St. Louis Cathedral in Jackson Square. It's a story based in the cathedral in Notre Dame. There was, after Victor Hugo wrote the book, there was actually Parisians apparently of the 1820s looked down on old buildings. And there was a whole attitude shift of people in Paris toward Notre Dame, and it was restored, at least in what I have read, based on largely the credit given to a whole new attitude that people had from this amazing 200,000-word manuscript that Victor Hugo wrote in 6 months with reportedly 1 bottle of ink.
Wow.
So he was good at the first drafts, apparently.
He didn't have the 20,000 pencils, did he?
No, but
no.
They had the Feast of Fools, which is the party that the Quasi gets drawn down into, a party tradition around churches of the time in medieval times where they threw these wild and crazy festivals. Gee, that sounds familiar. Although it got
Where
a
did he
little
get that idea from?
Got a little out of hand, and the reformers by 1600 had brought an end to the Feast of Fools, but a little Mardi Gras tie for you.
Yeah, Mardi Gras kind of tie. While we see the Little Mermaid come down Decatur Street, we're going to take a break and come right back with more of this wonderful parade.
These are the items that one Schwegman store's price check found cheaper than its closest Winn-Dixie. So we know, and you will know, Schwegman is cheaper. With cheap prices like Chiquita bananas, 28 cents a pound. Fresh grade A whole fryers, 58 a pound. Farmland hot dogs, 2 packs for $1. Boneless beef sirloin steak, $2.48 a pound. And assorted banquet dinners, 88 cents.
Schwegman now. We're making low prices fun again.
You've been waiting for it all year, and it's here. Adler's famous summer sale, 40 to 75% off store-wide. One day only, June 22nd. Mark your calendar. Adler's Canal Street only.
No matter how you look at it, from way up here to way down here, and everything between outside in and inside out, you can depend on us. U.S. Rentals for every do-it-yourself project. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, paint sprayers, leaf blowers, generators, post hole diggers, paving breakers, pressure washers, power miters, trenchers, power pruners, and brush chippers. We've got them. We rent, sell, and finance 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. U.S. Rentals, 112 West Airline Highway, next to security van lines. Call 467-15.
The center of excitement, Lakeside Shopping Center. The center of action, the center of fun, the center of fashion for everyone.
All of the looks and the styles that you seek are in the center where you wanna be.
It's the center of excitement, there's always something going on. The center of excitement, the center of fun.
Lakeside Shopping Center, center of excitement.
Barbie's ice cream makes your dreams come true.
Quick Trim Weight Loss Clinics offer doctor-supervised professional education for long-term weight loss. Quick Trim Weight Loss Clinics. Glaucoma is a thief that steals vision. Since glaucoma is a progressive disease, victims may not notice their sight slowly failing. Strauss Eye Center is conducting free eye screenings for glaucoma. Call Strauss Eye Center to schedule this important evaluation today. West Bank Optical has contact lenses from $59.95 and an eye exam and eyeglass special just $49.95. West Bank Optical.
Look at their prices. A man's haircut costs much less than a woman's.
I know it. And listen to this. I have to take my husband with me to buy my new car because I know that if I go alone, I'll have to pay more.
Oh, no. Becky, I know a place where you can go by yourself and get whatever you want and get the same price as a man.
Where?
Tony LaUza's Causeway Chrysler.
There's only one price for both men and women. For the best buys, buy at Tony LaUza's.
Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle, 5 minutes from the causeway on the North Shore.
Look who it is, the evil Captain Hook with Smee getting ready to terrorize Peter Pan all over again. And Peter and Wendy are dancing in the street. And this is the 6th unit of the Disney Parade. The John F. Kennedy Marching Band just passed by. There you see, what was the name of the island, John, in where the Peter Pan was?
Boy, I'm failing my Disney trivia here.
Me too, and I've seen this movie at least 50 times, I'll bet.
I'm good with Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, you know that one.
I'm there on that.
Well, that was the treehouse sort of operation that Peter and the Lost Boys lived in. And then you see Captain Hook and Smee. Peter's trying to sneak up on him there.
As in the street, they clown around with the animators. The animators are mostly on the other side, and they're running over to them and then clowning with those, mostly, I assume, locals over on the side of the shot you see there. One thing that strikes me as I look out into the crowd of animators is that they're all, I know I'm getting older, but they're all younger than I mean, there's a real young demographic there. If you, everybody looks to be, 35-ish in that range.
Well, you think about kids on the creative edge, on the cutting edge of all this technology, and I guess it's really not so surprising when you think of it that way. And all the Lost Boys dancing around, plotting revenge against Captain Hook. Well, these are Captain's pirates, I guess, not the Lost Boys.
All right, this is another McDonough. This is John McDonough Senior High School Band.
Here's John McDonough High School.
There we go.
Now we've got it. Let's see how well they did with their 45 minutes.
Disney actually sent in scouts during, at least one scout that we know of that was contacted by one of the schools, but sent in scouts at Mardi Gras time because they had the planning process that far out. To blow our own horn just a little bit, Dion Floyd, Fox 8's Dion Floyd was the first reporter to actually get wind of this and break the story along with some help from Kevin Henry, a photographer. And that was about 6 weeks ago. The planning obviously went out months and months in advance as they scouted out for some bands. A real compliment, obviously, although a lot of talent out there, and certainly that's been displayed this afternoon.
Very much so. And here's the next float in the parade. This is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I believe we're going to take a break while we watch this go by. We'll be back in just a moment with more of the parade.
Barbet's Dairy, the only locally owned dairy serving our community with a full line of dairy products. Now, for the first time, introducing Barbet's Premium Ice Cream. Follow our rainbow of colors to find your favorite flavor. Next time you shop for ice cream, look for Barbet's. If your grocer doesn't carry it, insist on it.
Your Milky Way to better health. We're Barbet's Dairy.
These are the items that one Schwegman store's price check found cheaper than its closest Winn-Dixie. So we know, and you will know, Schwegman is cheaper. With cheap prices like Chiquita bananas, 28 cents a pound. Fresh grade A whole fryers, 58 a pound. Farmland hot dogs, 2 packs for $1. Boneless beef sirloin steak, $2.48 a pound. And assorted banquet dinners, 88 cents.
Schwegman now. We're making low prices fun again. With your period, it's always something. If it's not major cramps, it's headaches, backaches, big-time bloating, or that dreaded irritability factor. Good thing Pamprin has 3 ingredients to relieve them all. Try Pamprin. Way beyond pain relief, period relief.
I get no time out for pain, so I stop pain on the spot with the Icy Hot Chill Stick. Icy to dull pain, hot to relax it away. And for a cool you can't match, chill it. Icy Hot Chill Stick. Stop pain on the spot.
It's summer savings time at Tony Lius's Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle. Have a Cherokee summer with over 20 grand Cherokees to choose from. And for only $12,996, get a Jeep Cherokee SE. Hey, New Orleans, want to cruise the beach this summer? Want heads to turn? Then get rolling to Tony Lius and save on the sexy Sebring. Or save $3,000 on the Chrysler LHS.
For Best Buys, men and women come to Tony Lius's.
Causeway Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle.
Royal Floor Covering River Ridge. Design Selections Covington.
The center of excitement. Lakeside Shopping Center. The center of action, the center of fun. The center of fashion for everyone.
All of the looks and the styles that you seek are in the center where you want to be.
It's the center of excitement. There's always something going on. The center of excitement. The center of
Lakeside Shopping Center. Center of excitement.
Friends here at Popo's Campus City, Gulfport, Mississippi, we've got acres and acres of motorhomes and travel trailers. Guess what? We now rent motorhomes. Look at this 1996 Coachman Class A. You can rent it for a day, week, month, year. Why don't you try before you buy? Only at Popo's Campus City, Gulfport, Mississippi. Call 1-800-725-2267. All right. Are these people crazy or what?
Call the hotline.
You've been waiting for it all year, and it's here. Adler's famous summer sale, 40 to 75% off store-wide. One day only, June 22nd. Mark your calendar. Adler's Canal Street only.
Fox 8 coverage of the Disney Festival of Fun Parade has been brought to you by Schwegman Supermarkets, U.S. Rentals, Dub Herring Ford and Chrysler and Pawpaw's Camper City, Lakeside Shopping Center, Pergo, the original laminate floor, Causeway Chrysler, and by Barbie's Dairy.
Another one of our fine high schools marching by.
We continue to enjoy what they called Walt weather here, but these clouds, I got to tell you, are looking a little ominous off in the distance.
It's a little iffy, but so far it's holding out. No problem. Mary Poppins has gone by. The Little Mermaid has gone by. Peter Pan and his merry men have gone by.
And so far, the deluge has held up. I got to tell you, I'm impressed even with Walt Disney's confetti. This is not that little stuff, you know, you get in the little party packs. This is pretty good.
Good confetti.
Yeah, that's really.
Good stuff.
I don't know if I have it down though. And
Yeah,
we've got
we'll
one right
it.
there in the middle of the camera. But,
Oh boy, that's not good. Sorry about that, guys.
And then it tends to run up in the air, but.
And here's Pocahontas and her Captain John Smith. We want to let you know that we're going to stop right now and take a break for Fox 8 News at 5, but we will continue with parade coverage throughout the newscast. So this isn't over yet. Don't go away.
Aren't you going to give your brother some kicks? Nah. Why not? It doesn't have any candy or chocolate in it. I don't think we should.
Kix is simply a cereal with a good corn crunch. Low in sugar with no artificial colors or flavors.
Are you sure he can't have any? He had 2 bowls already. Really?
Kix, kid tested, mother approved. Now get a sing-along cassette and songbook from the Puzzle Place, free with 2 proofs of purchase from Kix.
There's never been a better time to come to iMasters, where now you can get our 2 best offers, both in around an hour. You can get 50% off frames. Thousands of frames are half off at iMasters. Or buy 1 pair, get 1 free. Your second pair is free. That's 50% off frames or buy 1 pair, get 1 free. But hurry before time runs out at iMasters. And check out our great selection of prescription and non-prescription sunglasses.
It's the craze that's sweeping the nation. It's Jeep and Eagle Mania. And who wouldn't be excited about option values of up to $1150 on Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo? Get the deals you've been screaming for on a Cherokee Sport, too, like up to $1836 in option values. And find out why the all-new Wrangler is at the top of everyone's chart. So experience Jeep and Eagle Mania for yourself at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
This is Fox 8, WVUE.
Fox 8 News with Robin Cohen, George Ryan, Lionel Bienvenu with sports, and meteorologist Bob Breck. Now, Fox 8 News at 5.
The Mouses marching through New Orleans will take you live to the party.
Our music, our history, and our culture. There's no place in the world like New Orleans. We are the...
We'll tell you why Disney's Festival of Fun has city officials smiling. The new home of a local institution is gutted by fire. And a Louisiana delegation meets with President Clinton about a series of Southern church fires. Good evening. Mickey is doing his magic here in New Orleans. The Festival of Fun is in full swing in the French Quarter right now, and Fox 8's John Snell and Margaret Dubuisson are live at Jack's Brewery where the crew of Disney is rolling. And it's so good, we want to see more, you guys.
And we have more for you. Lots of Disney magic. 14 floats brought in from Los Angeles and from Orlando. A couple semis worth of just sound equipment that they brought in for the various events here. It is Disney, and therefore, by the rules of entertainment, it is big.
It is big.
They call Disney in the entertainment world the mouse, and the mouse roars today.
And what you see here, those are the final marchers of the Marion Abramson High School Band. But this is Aladdin, obviously, with those spitting camels in the parade. And look at the support unit, the support group that's holding up the camels, if you can see that. Those are really clever. Really fun.
These floats, of course, are all individually powered as opposed to the, you won't see the tractors pulling the floats as you have.
Look
the camels
out,
are
John.
spitting.
Get ready to take cover.
Oops.
Let's see if they spit this way. Yep, there they go. It's not bad enough that it might rain on us, but we're having camels spit now.
I'll take the camel spit before the rain.
Yeah, I take the camel spit.
I don't think it's toxic.
No. Lots of dancing girls coming up behind the spitting camel. Dancing girls, and then you see the big elephant.
We don't have a crowd estimate yet for this event, although the crowds appear, as we look at them, I'm counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 10 or 12 deep, I would say, in some spots here in Jackson Square. Good-sized crowd for what police have described as a mini Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd is packed in there pretty good. And You can see this is the parade, the recreating the parade going into Agrabah with Aladdin and Princess Jasmine, which was quite a parade in itself. But I think it's met its match in this one.
And I don't know what effect this will have on the parade, but we are feeling now the first
We're feeling
the raindrops in a few hours.
A few little drops here. Oh, and the wicked Jafar following behind Aladdin and the Princess Jasmine. And Jafar has the Walter Cohen High School Marching Band right hot on his heels.
Sort of a precedent for this kind of event, although Disney does not normally do parades outside Disneyland, Disney World. They had a big event last year in Central Park when they had the last world premiere for Pocahontas. A couple 100,000 people, in fact, were in New York Central Park. This time they've reserved about 60,000 seats for people lucky enough to get tickets around the country. A lot of locals obviously will be in the Superdome later tonight, but some people from around the country. Mayor Morial earlier today said he didn't feel that the bigness of this event lied in the fact that it was bringing in thousands of tourists. There weren't going to be that many out-of-towners, as much as publicity that you simply cannot buy. Obviously, the Disney Channel is making an enormous deal out of this. They'll have a big show exclusively tonight in the Superdome. That'll be sent out all over the country on countless cable systems, about 100 million television, or about 45, 50 million television homes potentially. There's simply no price tag that you can put on any of that.
And Beauty and the Beast, the beautiful Beauty and the Beast float, and then Vanderbilt Catholic High School from Homa coming up right behind Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was the 11th float in the parade, so there are still 3 more to go. Vanderbilt Catholic High School from Homa, Louisiana.
And let's listen in. Well, they called it Walt weather. Walt, a reference to Walt Disney, of course. Michael Eisner, when he kicked this event off about 58 minutes ago, and amazingly, they got a little out of order from their itinerary, but we're seeing now the very last unit coming through from this parade, and Patrick Duffy riding atop that. It's uncanny how, at least for this portion, for these people along this part of the parade route, how it managed to hold off.
And, John, you know, this is the first parade I've ever watched in New Orleans that wasn't preceded by the Nazi clearance truck and the police surveillance unit.
I know, and that's always a highlight for me, and I very much regret
that.
not seeing it.
Oh.
That and the spare tractor, which is always the big highlight.
I know that. We had no tractors at all in this parade. But draft horses pulling the final unit in the parade, which is Patrick Duffy, as you mentioned, and pulling a rolling calliope, a steam organ. And it was a very pretty, unusual parade for us, and the weather held up just long enough.
All in all, a really great show. Patrick Duffy has talked about how much he enjoys New Orleans, although he has a gig this time. Said he'd been here a couple of times, but I think only once before to work on a Channel 8 Mardi Gras event, as it turned out a number of years ago, but really the first time that he'd had a long, extensive several days of working. Said he was worried about the heat, didn't have too much of a problem with that, as it turned out. Throughout the day, Disney or for the rest of the evening, of course, Disney with a lot on its plate. The world's biggest stage, and from here they will parade onto the convention center, and then the bands go their way, I suppose, and a huge performance featuring the Symphony Orchestra and the world's largest indoor stage done in big Disney grand style.
Yes, indeed, and they get to see that fabulous premiere of the Hunchback of Notre Dame tonight at 7 o'clock, I believe it starts. Lots more fun and excitement. It's been a Disney day here in New Orleans.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A mix of Disney and New Orleans. A Disney parade with a sort of Mardi Gras flavor. Some Hunchback of Notre Dame throws. Little souvenir pieces.
Very nice, very nice. We're going to take a break and be back with more in just a bit.
I'll check it out. You need suspension work. Better see the experts at Meineke. Meineke doesn't just do mufflers and brakes. They do complete undercar care. Shocks, struts, and CD joints.
At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
In the South, a Sunday drive has a different meaning. To most people, it's driving something sporty with lots of pickup. That's why folks insist on Ford Ranger. From your local Southern Quality Ford dealer, where you can always get a well-equipped compact pickup, which happens to be America's #1 seller. A coincidence? After a visit to your local Southern Quality Ford dealer, you won't think so.
Get 4.8 financing or $600 cash back on Ford Ranger today.
If you want durability and the highest energy efficiency possible, invest in Amana. Call your Amana dealer today. Available at Clearview Air and Heating, Metairie.
Folks, did you know there's one tool that fixes all your undercar service needs? Yep, introducing the Meineke credit card. There's no annual fee, and you don't need to make a payment for 90 days. When it comes to convenience, this card is the champ. I guarantee it.
Hey, it's June, and you know what June's known for. Relax. June's Truck Month at your Nissan dealer, where you can get incredible deals on a tough Nissan VTP truck, complete with alloy wheels, AM, FM cassette, and air conditioning, all for up to $1,600 less than a comparably equipped Toyota. But before you get hitched, see your Nissan dealer during Nissan's June Truck Month, because the honeymoon's over July 1st. Now get 0 down and no payments for 90 days on every 96 Nissan truck.
Fox 8 Weather is brought to you by Circuit City.
Get more boombox for your buck. Circuit City. You can't find a lower price. We guarantee it.
Well, we're back, and that about wraps it up for the Disney Parade, at least from this end. Now, the parade is still rolling down Decatur Street on Cross Canal. It'll go on, we'll make a little jog on Dubuisson and then wrap up at the Convention Center. And it has been a Disney day here in the Crescent City.
Yeah, we're used to holding big events, papal visits, and the all-time champs next year on Super Bowls, as we pointed out, but a little different flavor to this, and some Hollywood glitz meets Mardi Gras. All in all, so far, a pretty successful start. And let's go back now to Robin Cohen in the studio.
All right, thanks, Margaret and John.